All right. What is up, guys? Hopefully everyone can hear me. Say something if you guys can hear me. I was trying to get the recording going. I'm scared that it's not right now. It says that it is, but I don't trust it. Okay, I see you guys. So you guys are saying hello. So hopefully everyone's doing all right. Thanks for showing up live. This recording will be in the members area afterwards. And then you guys can always reference it later. So it's it definitely takes a little extra commitment to show up live. I actually might have an immediate trade for everyone. So everyone get their platforms ready because I'm waiting for a move, or I'm waiting for a signal on USD JAPI for a short right now. Not gonna lie, I actually did get started without you guys. I caught this move on AUD USD. I scalped it pretty quickly, so I didn't make a ton of pips on it, but you know, just getting warmed up. My first few trades of the year. It was just super small money. I think I made, let me see. I made $348. So it was super quick. Just was trying to get warmed up. Saw an opportunity during Asian session. So I wanted to hop on it, make sure I still got it. Make sure I still got it. All right. So like I said, though, guys, I think I might have an immediate trade for you guys on USD JAPI. Basically, my analysis behind it is for a scalp. As you guys can see, I have a nice little corrective structure drawn out here. Should be pretty simple to see. But they bottomed out. I got in and noticed, or I'm sorry, I noticed the corrective structure earlier today, where it formed here, and basically it was just a waiting game. Waited for more volume. But yeah, just waiting for a confirmation on USD JAPI. AUD USD, it's kind of far gone. And that's what I meant about these sessions being hybrid, because you know, earlier I was just trying to just make sure, like I said, I wasn't rusty before I hopped on. But you know, there will be situations where I might be looking at charts, and you know, we probably won't have a session scheduled or something like that. So I don't want to hold you guys back from trades when I could just, you know, record a kind of like a lesson and be like, yeah, I'm looking at this. Even if it's only a 15-minute recording, I think that it would be good for you guys to have. And you'll always, you know, always have some content from me. I'm not going to do it every time I trade, but you know, if I see a good setup that I feel is going to help you guys out a lot, then I don't want to like try to, you know, get the the whole team involved and send out the recording, or I'm sorry, not the recording, the webinar link and all that stuff, I might as well take the trade and make sure that I record it. So but yeah, AUD USD, we'll look at this one in a bit. We could maybe see what it's doing once we get back to the bottom of the channel. It's got like 10 more pips of drop. So let's look at some other stuff. Let's see how CAD is doing. I haven't looked at CAD since November. It feels weird taking. I took literally the entire month of December off, guys. Literally have not traded until today. And like I said, first trades, just 348 bucks, paid for dinner and a little bit extra. Took my girl to Shogun tonight, so that was nice. But yeah, it feels weird being back on the charts. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find something right away. I don't want the Jappy to slip on us though. Okay. We're going to be taking a look at this one in the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds for an entry. So everyone kind of stay tuned for USD Jappy. Get your platforms ready just in case. USD CAD is looking pretty good as well. I'm liking this. Kind of want to highlight this as well. I'm highlighting this little like railroad track type of fill because the wick here got a nice parabolic crescent that came back up, and I want to see how they handle this the following candles on this. So I want to take a look at the 5. I already see impulse. They gave us a wick right after that, so that was, you know, not a good candle. But since we had a nice big impulse, very little wick to the downside, if this closes the exact same way, we're going to take a trade on USD CAD as well. Same thing with this. If we see little to no wick to the bottom side after the bounce at the top of the channel, we're going to take a sell on USD Jappy. So I'm going to get like 2 minutes of 2K in. This is what I do when I trade, guys. If I'm at home, I'll play like 2K, watch a movie, you know, anything to keep me kind of chill while I wait for entry candles and things of that sort. So I actually just hired a photo video person today. So they'll be handling all my photo and video from now on. So in the future, whenever there's a pause or something, or you know, we're waiting for an entry candle, I'll have her edit that kind of stuff out so that you, when you guys are watching the recordings, you're not just sitting there, you know, listening to me whoop on people in 2K. So, but I will try to keep you guys entertained on each of these sessions, whether they be live or recorded. Really just talking about everything, to be honest. But since we've got 2 charts, I'll try to structure it like that as well, where we're looking at 2 charts at a time. I don't want to overwhelm us with, you know, multiple charts and stuff. I feel like that's kind of silly. You know, I think that when you're going to be looking at or looking at trades that are short term like this, you want to definitely like focus on you know, the pairs that, what's the words I'm looking for here? The pairs that are already in corrective structure. So, you know, we know that we have 2 charts right now that are in corrective structure. They're you know, they're looking good. So, you know, we can, if the corrective structure is how we want it to be, we have tons of trades here. You know, we take this trade, if it closes the way we want, everyone get ready, by the way. This thing closed how we want it to, and we have another trade once it hits our TP. All right, everyone take a sell on USD CAD. Sell on USD CAD right now. I'll let you guys know my strike price. I'm taking it on my phone because it's much easier for me. It's just click of a button. I honestly hate the XStation platform on computer. Let's also take a sell on USD Jappy, guys. Sell on USD Jappy. Okay, so for USD CAD, or actually, since I'm on Jappy, my strike price on USD Jappy is 112.29.9. Okay, the micro pips don't really matter, but since for the sake of the webinar, I'm gonna put micro pips just so you guys could see how close you're getting to my entries. For USD CAD, I got in at 1.24653. Wait, is that right? Yeah, 1.24653. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna ride these. I'm gonna ride these out. For USD CAD, we could potentially see some stalling around this area. So let's highlight that in green, or actually that's a crappy green, pretty shitty. Let's look at the blue there as a potential take profit. If not, if we break through that, we'll be looking at the orange. Once we get closer, we can actually talk about those as TP. But let's ride those out. Let's see how it plays out for the next few minutes. I'm gonna go back to the 15-minute chart on both of these. Let me see if what you guys are talking about, by the way. Remember, guys, I'm not really taking questions on these. This is my, you guys are getting my personal training or a trading. I'm going to be obviously breaking down my market analysis on why I'm taking things, but I'm not going to be looking at the daily if I'm not trying to look at the daily. I'm not going to be looking at pairs unless I, actually ask you guys like, hey, what's some pairs that you guys are looking at this week? If I haven't done analysis that day or something. But if I'm already looking at charts, I don't want to sacrifice my own account. It's really a benefit for you guys to even be able to do this. You get what I'm saying? So, just try to understand why I'm taking trades more so to, try to treat this as like a course. That's really the whole point of it all. You're going to be learning things, obviously, but it's going to be more so the things that I'm already trying to look at. So we're just dealing with a little pullback here, and London hasn't even opened, so we might not even see volume. It'd be good if we did, though, honestly. It'd be awesome if we did, actually. So we haven't announced any TPs yet. We're just waiting to get into profit, actually, and then I'll call it out when to pull, and as we get closer, I just want to make sure that we're in profit first, because it could change. We might be able to, optimize our trade. See what everything's doing. Oops. Okay, so I'm not too worried about that. And also not worried. Okay, so we're just a waiting game right now. Gonna see how these play out for the next few. I want to do these during actual London session, um, because that's when the volume's there. But I also know that this is our first week of doing these, so I wanted to make sure that we get into a good rhythm and get kind of used to it. I didn't really sleep much last week, or I'm sorry, not last week, last night. So it was actually kind of a plus that I had already booked this session for 10 p.m. and getting done by midnight because I'm pretty exhausted right now. Like this morning, I was so delirious, like forgot my gym bag, almost lost my phone at the gym. Like I never let my phone go, so that just shows how like off I was. My phone's always in my hand. Let me see. I'll pull up one more chart while we're waiting. I want to see what AUD's doing, just because it was kind of in a free fall. So if AUD gets down to, well, let's see. If AUD gets down to around the 7807 area, a little bit above that, closer to like 7810, we could start looking for some entries there as well. The analysis behind it is really just playing corrective structure. That's all I'm doing. Just start us off with some scalps. I'll eventually look for some longer term trades. I know that I normally trade those, but just to get us off right, since this is the very first webinar, I wanted to treat this week on scalping. Try to get us some quick profits to spark the momentum of the year. As you can see, like all these areas, they're holding pretty well. These corrective structures, it's holding it pretty well. Hopefully London Open doesn't change that, but hopefully we've already got our profit by then. So because London doesn't open till midnight Pacific, which is London opens at like 12:30. So someone asked, what winning percentage are you looking for when scalping? What do you mean by that? I'm not sure what you mean. And by the way, guys, I kind of lost my voice this weekend, so if it gets a little raspy, I'm so sorry. It's better than it was, but it's still, when I talk too much, it starts to kind of go out again. Okay. How often do I lose on trades? out of 10, I would say I maybe lose like 3 to 4, which isn't bad. But I don't really take a ton of scalps. Like I'll take, maybe 5, 6 in a night if I'm like feeling it. And, I'll normally win all of those. But out of 10, I'll maybe miss like 3, 4. And that's just because like if I just see them not going my direction anymore, I'll go ahead and pull out. After a certain point, I try to after I've taken enough scalps and I'm already up for the night, I try to look for only scalps that I can optimize. So when I say optimize, basically trades that like if I were to get tired, because if you're staring at charts all night, you're gonna probably get tired eventually, especially during London. Um, so what I'll do is I'll look for trades that I can hold longer term because I trust them on the higher time frame, so that they're low maintenance. Seems like everything is like 2 pips. Well, wait, let me see. The USD Jappy is like, let me see, how many pips is this? I have multiple positions on USD Jappy. Okay, so 6 pips on USD Jappy. So what I'm gonna do, um, I'm gonna open up another position on USD Jappy. You guys don't have to, unless you want to. I'm opening another sell though, and I'm gonna hold. And what I'll do for those that are a little nervous, this will be TP. Or I'm sorry, not TP. Stop loss. So 112.40. That's like 4 or 5 pip stop loss. I basically did it off this last little higher low or lower high. So Mark, when you're talking about the you said, I'm trying to make sure I understand the question, honestly. How do you realize your loss? I'm trying to get what you mean by that. Um, so basically, with my longer term stuff, I really under leverage. So when I'm basically, I could be trading. I tell people this all the time. If I wanted to, I could do 30, 40 lots, whatever. But the thing is I rather do 7 to like 10. And the reason for that is because it keeps my risk low. If I'm scalping, I can have 2, 3 positions open and not worry. And if I'm doing a longer term trade and I'm going for more pips, if I open, 1 to 2 of those for a longer term trade, if I go into a little bit of drawdown, it doesn't scare me. So, for me, I don't really see losses on my longer term trades because, for one, drawdown isn't an issue. It's a higher time frame type of fill. So, I'm not really like stressed about any drops, really. So, I mean, the only time I really see losses like that suck. I lose a few grand in a night or something like that. That's going to be from scalping, and even then, it's pretty rare. At least last year. So No, I'm not taking any pairs to look at. Where do I cut my loss? Um, I'm saying I really don't because I trust my strategy. Like drawdown doesn't scare me because I have not seen a pair not come back with my strategy ever. No matter what people say, sometimes it may not always be ready. Sometimes it might go for another level, whatever, but I've never seen it just completely go against everything that I've learned and made hundreds of thousands with. So I don't really have to cut my loss. I no longer do one-on-ones. Someone actually bought one the other day because they like found the link somehow, and I need to refund them actually. These study buddy webinars are supposed to be like the have all for all things questionable. um, I feel like these webinars in collaboration with the training should be like the icing on the cake. Honestly, I feel like this is like one of the better ideas that I've had, at least in my mind. I know it might take us a second to find the rhythm, and for you guys to get used to me, how I trade, because how I actually trade I don't want to say it's different from my courses, but like I'm not, like it's a course because I'm teaching you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand it already. So you guys got to understand that when I'm trading myself, it's not like I'm you know teaching somebody in a course. I'm not trying to find things the most simple way as possible, like because I understand it in a complex way, I guess you can say. Um, so like I think that just having these as like, all right, this is what I'm looking at, this is why I'm looking at it. Not really, trying to teach much, but just like this is why I'm doing this. I feel like it's gonna be that gap that you guys need. We're waiting on movement right now. So we're in the trade right now. One's 3 pips in drawdown, and the other one is in 6. So, or wait, yeah, 6. So we're just waiting to get into profit. So, and that's another thing, guys. Like, these webinars aren't going to be trade, 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 trade. Like this is not a NASCAR derby. This is my personal account. I'm not going to risk a ton of risk just to fill you guys' adrenaline. It's more so to teach you guys exactly how to look at these trades professionally, so that you're not losing your account every time you start to see profit. That's what you guys mess up on. Is you see some profit or you let your adrenaline kick in, and you keep trading. And me, like I look at 2 pairs at a time for the most part, maybe 3. If I'm trading longer term, I'm only in just a few trades and I wait those out. If I'm scalping, I'm only looking at those trades for the night. And if they haven't played out by the time I'm ready to go to bed, if I can't optimize them as a trade, I'm going to close them and just take a L, so. All right, so Jappy's trying to throw us a fastball here. Let's see how they handle it. Still Asian, so let's see here. So they did break on the 1 minute. They broke our line here. It's got a little bit of impulse. Not, the 1 minute doesn't really show much. It's just nice to see at a smaller scale if they did break over our line. Sometimes you can't really tell when you're this close. USD CAD seems to be coming back in our favor just fine. But let's see what Jappy does. Could just be a false break. On USD Jappy. AUD got pretty close. 78.13. So, like I said, guys, I'm not really going to be answering a lot of questions on this, especially once we get into a rhythm. But I understand that this is the very first session. And somebody asked, how would you know that a level is going to break in this instance? And then let me see the second part of the question. And when would you know to cut a loss if there's a break of a level? So basically, it's pretty easy to see if a level is breaking based off of the impulse. So like if there's a strong impulse outside of the channel, and you have very little wick to the and I'm assuming that you have my scalping factory, by the way. So let me kind of back up a little bit. If you have very little wick and you have candles that are pointing in the direction that you're already anticipating, then you have impulse. And the reason why is because the order flow and how market makers move these markets with candles is they use the candles to give a false kind of like sense of hope. So, when they make a break, it didn't. Here we go. If they make a break out of the channel and it's impulsive, then you know that there's strong order flow going that direction. If they break out of the channel and they leave us kind of like a wick, then that's basically trapping traders. So like, for example, here, they threw a wick up there. That's why I put my line at that level. It's because what they're doing is like, hey, we're pushing. They showed us an impulsive candle to the top side here. If I zoom in, okay, this candle right next to this one where the line is drawn. This one has very little wick to the top side. So that means that if the order flow is strong to the top side for buyers. On this one, what they did is they threw the market up, threw the market up there like, hey, we're going up, and all the inexperienced people, especially after, seeing this little bit of rise or whatever for the last, what is this, maybe 20, 30 minutes. What they did is give them a false break. Like, well, not false break, false push, in this instance. And what they do is all these traders start taking positions for buys and they snatch it right back into the channel. So we can use these areas as areas of what's the words I'm looking for here? You could use these to set your area, or I'm sorry, your channel. Like, okay, that's a channel from top to bottom. That's the areas that they want to play within, and you could just scalp in between those areas over and over and over again. Now, in terms of breaking out of them, you want to be looking for that impulse. So in this case, like I said, if they showed us a push impulsively and we see little to no wicks to the top side outside of this blue line that we have drawn, then we know that we need to start looking to take out our position. So for me, I saw that they threw a wick up here. So there's probably traders trapped here because they never came back to that area, right? It's not the largest wick in the world, but since they threw it up there after this strong, or this little pullback, I know that there's most likely traders trapped. So what I want to do is, hold on real quick, guys. We might have to be pulling our trade on TP. Let's see how they handle this orange line. If they bounce off this orange line, we got to pull super quick, guys, so everyone get ready. We're on USD Jappy. They break through. I'll be a happy camper. I want them to go to the blue line. But you guys see what I'm saying? They went above it a little bit. They made people think that they're going up, and then they shot right back into the channel. It's just like clockwork, guys. It's like clockwork. I could close now for $1,300 profit that quick. But I want to see if they'll break this. It seems like they're toying with it. How much time we got? We got 2 minutes and 45 seconds. If you'd like a strategy that you can do to secure profit in times like this, you can put like your stop loss and profit and maybe like 112.26. If it hits it, whatever. If it doesn't, then perfect. But that's just if you're feeling unsure. I'm holding though. I want to see how they handle this sucker. Show me the money. Let's get this year started off right, baby. I need that bag. I needs it. I needs it. USD CAD seems to it seems to want to toy with us now that USD Jappy's come back. Minute and 23. God, I want to see them close below it. And the same thing applies for this. We're at the middle of our channel. The blue, we can count that as and I'll delete this now that we're a little bit away from it just so it doesn't confuse us. The blue lines are the outside of our channel. The orange is a middle part within our channel. And now that we're at this area, we also want to see how they close. If they close impulsively where the wick, or there's little to no wick, let's say they come back and fill this and close with little to no wick, we definitely want to hold on to that because it shows that the order flow is still pushing. It's still pushing. If they do leave us a wick, then we want to start looking to pull our trade because chances are they just trapped some traders on this big impulsive candle down. They pulled it back with the wick. And okay, here we go. All right, guys, let's pull these trades. Let's pull these trades on USD CAD right now. Everyone pull. Everyone pull right now. Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's go. That was a quick, it's already 2,500 for me today. Everyone get out. Everyone take profit. We had two positions on USD Jappy, and it's about to hit our take profit now. We closed 2 pips before our take profit. Everyone take profit. I'm seeing yes. Oh yeah. Yes, really great. Yep, yes. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And if you held, then you really hit take profit. All right. So let's look at this. Let's look at this USD CAD now. Let's see what it's doing. Looks like we might have an opportunity for another position here. So this is what I mean though. Look, that at the top where we are at this orange line, we're at the top, right? It's about to touch it. Notice this candle before it, little to no wick to the top side. That means they're not trapping traders right there. There's still a big push impulsively to the top side. So we're not going to be looking, just because it got to the orange, we're not going to be looking to take our short yet. Yeah, it's at the top of the channel almost as well. It's more of one of the middler lines, but yeah, it's not at the top of the channel, but we want to look for a wick. We want to look for a trap. We want them to go above it, throw us a wick up there, and then snatch it back. And once they snatch it back, if they do, they might go to the top of the channel, the blue. But once they do, I'll show you guys what I do to look for my entry. And it's so simple. It's going to make you guys' lives, 20 times easier. AUD USD is looking good for us. And it might play out as well. We're not in AUD USD yet, but it's looking good for maybe towards the end of the webinar. So I really hope this is still recording. Okay, I think it is. It said I was running low on disk space, so I'm gonna have to figure that out because that's some crap. I didn't even have anything really recorded. So is all this making sense, guys? Is all this making sense so far? It's our first one, so it's going to be very repetitive over the course of this year, but it's going to stick in you guys' heads, and I guarantee you guys will be seeing some profits, whether it be long-term, short-term, whatever. We're going to be trading a little bit of everything, but since it's our first week, I wanted to get us some quick profits. Show y'all what I'm talking about. Let them know who the prophet is. All right, so we're going to be watching this now that it's hit. Okay, now that it's hit, USD Jappy is just dropping like crazy right now. But this is not an indicator to get in. This is where you guys mess up. Just because USD Jappy is doing this right now, you should not be in. Okay, you play your channels. That's it. Okay, you play your channels. Once it hits the channel, get out unless you got lucky. If it just shot through it before you could pull your trade, sure, take the couple of pips, whatever. But once it gets to your channel, your take profit, you play channel to channel, and then as it tells its story, you played it between those as well. Because what it could do any second now is it could pull back, leave a giant wick, trap all the amateurs that see these big impulsive candles going short, and then they come back into the channel. Okay, and if they do that, that's when we're looking for trades the opposite way. All right, guys, do not be getting in trades like this or candles like this. That's where a lot of you guys make a huge mistake, and it drives me nuts because man, You guys would be doing so well, and then you make me look bad, man. And then I got to hear the whining and complaining. Okay, so now, some of you guys are probably wondering, what do we do in this case? They gave us a decently sized wick. It's not, anywhere close to a strong percentage of the actual candle. That's how I like to look at it. Is the longer the wick is based off of the size of the candle, the better. So like if we were to maybe, I forgot how to do it on here. Where's it at? The measuring tool. Okay. So like if we were to stop it. Okay. So this is what 1.4 pips, but the candle is 10.2. Okay. So like we want to look for the percentage of the wick candle to be pretty large. So, and the larger it is, the more that it makes up the width of the candle or the length of the candle, the better for reversals. So what we're going to do in this case is we're going to see how they pull back. I think that what they could do is pull back to this area, and then they might trend along it, and then slowly come back in or drop back. So it's kind of a no man's land kind of game right now. So we're not going to be looking for trades on USD Jappy. AUD USD, I want it to consolidate a little bit more. They're giving us a ton of wicks, telling us that they're bottoming out, but I want them to consolidate more. They're still going in one direction, for too much for me. Okay. See, we had the impulsive candle, no wick to the top side. Now they showed us some wick. Now we want to see how they handle this in the next 2 minutes and 35 seconds. They might pull all the way back, and that'll make it a huge wick. If this closes bearish as a bearish candle, that's a huge wick. That's a parabolic crescent. Okay? So you guys just gotta watch for this type of stuff, because that's how you can get screwed over. So it's just a waiting game right now. But we're watching USD CAD and AUD USD pretty closely. Gonna whoop on the Lakers here real quick. That USD Jappy trade was a really good trade. I'm happy about that. It's the first trades of the year. It's like 2,200 bucks off on top of the 300 something that I made earlier. And don't worry, you guys will eventually get your lot sizes up. So don't rush it. It'll come. You just got to get these basics down, and then you can do what you want. Get the mindset down on what type of trades you should be in. That's where the risk comes in. If you guys are just taking every trade, that somewhat looks good, then you're going to be screwing yourself. So that's when it becomes 50-50 again, and we're not in the 50-50 game. Okay, you guys see what I mean? Now that's a much larger wick, isn't it? And it's larger than the body of the candle. So now our process after we've seen something like this is we want to see how they handle the next two candles on the 5-minute chart. We want to see if they go impulsively the opposite way. And if they do, then we're going to take our trade. If not, if they go the same direction, then what we'll do is we'll look for another entry at the blue line, the top of the channel. But the better trade at this point would be for them to, oh shoot, it wasn't highlighted, would be for them to close impulsively twice this direction, going short. That'd be a perfect trade. Our USD CAD trade is only 7 pips of drawdown, so it's not bad. See what I mean? Now what we want is for them to close with little to no wick to the bottom side. So it's not perfect just yet, but it's doing exactly what I predicted. But notice the thing that you guys got to notice the most is the patience. It's just waiting for the right signals. Like it's not just hopping on the first thing that the first bounce off of a support or resistance. It's just waiting, you know? It's being patient. Keeps your risk low. We got 2 minutes on this. Yeah, my entry on USD CAD is the 2465, but we're waiting for another entry right now to make sure that this trade is going short in our direction. So for those that aren't in the USD CAD trade, you shouldn't be in right now until we call out another one. Don't feel like you're missing something. Just try to get the lesson, and then you can find your own opportunities. But we really need this to close impulsively. That'd be freaking awesome. $52 seconds. Yes, baby. Come on. Close how I want. Do it for daddy. 30 seconds. Come on. What's it doing on the 1? It's kind of dry on the 1 minute. Come on, baby. Give me impulse. I want this trade. Ugh. All right, so Waiting game still, guys. Waiting game. We don't like this. You know, yeah, it's not the largest wick in the world, but we want to see an impulsive candle before we ever take a trade. It could go exactly how we want it to, but for our confirmation and for our risk to stay low, we need to wait for a strong impulse so that we know that once we get in, it's going to continue with an impulse. It sometimes we'll do a small little pullback, but like if we have that confirmation signal, we know that we can trade confidently. So if this next one plays out how we want, that'll be great. Someone asks why I chose these two pairs. I chose them because they're both in corrective structure right now. And that's the only time you should be looking for trades, whether you're trading long term or short term. That's why I teach levels, because levels is a corrective structure. And if you are in corrective structure, it's the best time to see the market, really. Impulse, really the strategy behind the Forex Fortune Factory is to ride from corrective structure through impulse, where scalping is only trading within the corrective structure. But either strategy is you're looking for entries within the corrective structure. CAD is looking good so far. That's exactly how we want it, right there, just like that. If it closed right that or like that right now, that'd be freaking beautiful. See, I don't like the unpredictability without consolidation like that. All these wicks and all that, like this is just choppy, way too choppy. It's not good for trades. Like, yeah, it went up. We were expecting it to go up, but it's not confidence. Since we're scalping, it really doesn't matter what level we're in, because on the 15-minute, corrective structures happen like every few hours. So it's just about finding a pretty one at the right time. And it's usually like, you know, they'll happen randomly. You might see them midday, but I like to really find them during London, because sometimes I'll just trade till like 4 o'clock in the morning. If I find a nice corrective structure that just started. So like these two, they like the corrective structures on them both just started. You know, like they weren't like, they're not old. The older they are, the worse they're gonna get, because they're, you know, they're gonna break out soon. But these, they just started. Like this one just started here, confirmed here. So like they pulled back, and then they confirmed that we're in a structure here. And that was at 8:30 this morning. You know what I'm saying? So, and if it hits the top side once more, then it's really going to be a strong corrective structure. Because the one thing about corrective structure is if you have two hits to the top and bottom side, which we have two hits to the bottom, but we don't have a second to the top, the stronger it's going to be. You know, I'm not saying that they wouldn't break out, but you know, it's going to be stronger, generally speaking. Okay, that's what we wanted. All right, so let's go ahead and take a sell on USD CAD. We're already in it, but can open up another position. Better entry. USD CAD. Okay, I got in, my strike rate was let me see, 124.68.8. So not the best because I was trying to teach the other thing. That's my bad, guys. I'm so sorry. If I was paying attention, we could have gotten an even better strike, but it's all good. These are my 2 entries on USD CAD, and these are the only 2 trades that I have open. Let's aim for the blue line. That'd be a solid 24.59. So that'd be what, 9 pips on one, and then another 6. And if it breaks through, we'll shoot for the orange. Someone asked when I like to use the traffic decoder. I like to use the traffic decoder for like the longer term trades, because on longer term trades I'm playing off of the trend, so I don't really care about how intricate my entry is going to be, like we're doing right now. Scalping is all about your entry, because if you get a nice push like this candle right here, then that's, you know, the difference that you can make is crazy. You know, like right now I put in 7. I getting tongue tied. I put on 7 lots on that trade that we just took at 24.68. You know, so like if this gets to 24.59, that's almost like another $1,000. It actually might be $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Now, for a longer term trade, like with the levels, I'm not too concerned about it. It's more so just trying to get in at the bottom or top of the trend and ride it as long as possible. So I would use the traffic decoder for that if it gives me an entry. I might do a little bit of like dirty work on the 15-minute, but you know, I'm not super worried about it. I'm just going to look for a couple hits and go from there, especially if I'm in a rush, traveling or whatever I'm doing. And then I'll just hold from there, because it's not gonna be like scalping where I'm doing a ton of positions or whatever. I'm always under leveraged based on my account, and you know, all that jazz. So there's a lot of risk management behind. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. All right. So we just hit, well, it's basically there. We hit the blue line. Let's see how they handle it. But everyone get ready to pull just in case. We still got 52 seconds. Let's see if we could break through. Come on, baby. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Come on. Damn you, you little shit. Push. Come on, baby. Don't give us that. I want this to push to that orange. That'd be solid. That'd be a good night. Come on. 17 seconds. If it closes with that wick, guys, we're definitely pulling. I don't care if it finishes it up after the candle. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Close. Close, guys. Boom. Everyone get out. Awesome. Awesome. Woo! Hell yeah. VTM, baby. You guys are probably gonna see the crazier side of me on these. Yeah. All right, so we're 2 for 2. We're 2 for 2. Um, that was good stuff. That's 3,300 in the last hour. Hopefully you guys got some solid profits based on your account size. Don't think about the dollars. Think about the percentages if your account is smaller. And the dollars are going to come. Trust me. Just focus on the craft right now. This is a long year. It's going to be a good year. You guys are, you guys are here live with me. That shows a lot of dedication. So, you guys keep this up. Even if you do miss them every now and then, watch the recordings. You guys are linking up with people in the groups and stuff. You guys are going to do fine. The dollars are going to come. This is why we got out, though. You get what I'm saying? What these wicks, what they do is they trap traders, especially after a candle like that. They give us a nice long wick. People got trapped down here, guys. They got trapped right there. Okay? There's people stuck, pissed off because it came back around. All right? Now, what we could do if it wasn't such an impulsive candle is if they gave us something like, maybe a candle that stops here or something, and then it's got little to no wick to the top side, and then they give us another impulsive candle, like right here or something, then we take another trade back up. And that's what I said, the beauty of taking these corrective structures is that you can go back and forth, back and forth. Now, this is too long of an impulsive candle for me. I don't like it because I feel like they could do a lot of different things with this. They're almost gotten, halfway through, our orange and blue lines here. So, I don't like those odds. But let's see. Let's see what Jappy's doing. So Jappy just does not want to come back to the structure at all, I see. Okay, that's no problem. So now that we're out of the corrective structure on Jappy, we're sitting on our hands. We're not going to be looking for trades until we have another corrective structure. Unless they, they did put us a nice line here, or not line, parabolic crescent there. They gave us something there to show that they probably trapped some traders short, but we still don't have a corrective structure. They broke out of it. Let's actually change the color on it just so we don't get super confused. Let's do like purple. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that just fine. So they gave us a nice long wick, let us know that traders were trapped down there. But we don't have corrective structure yet. The corrective structure is going to trend in between the top of what the potential corrective structure is, the new top of it, and I'll actually change this to purple just so we can identify with that. The new top of the corrective structure and the bottom of the corrective structure. If it doesn't trend within that, then we're not looking for trades. Now, if they come back and they either do one of two things, and actually I already have it drawn here. I'll delete this. If they come back here and they bounce off of the new top of the corrective structure, or they come back into the corrective structure that we had previously Now we have trades. Now we have trades. But what we're going to do is we're going to see how they handle this. They might not, like, yeah, it looks like they're still going down, but they might not be ready to stop at this line that we have drawn here. You know? So you got to keep that in mind. You don't want to play your risk on that. Hold on, my battery is dying, guys. Let me grab my charger so I don't lose you all. We still got another about 50 minutes, even though we're up pretty big. All right, see, that kind of stuff. You don't want to just assume. See, look at that. Look at that. You guys don't want to assume. You never know what can happen. Yeah, it looks like, this was predictable, but it wasn't. You had nothing to tell you that that was about to happen. Let me grab this charger, though. One sec. It's just right here. All right. We're good. AD is just ugly. It's so ugly. It's like playing within the structure, but it's just doing it so disgusting. I don't even want to deal with it. Oops. So I'm going to delete this stuff, guys. I'm going to delete those entries. See what I mean, though, about that long impulsive candle? Like I said, there's a lot of things that they could do with it being that much drawback. So after they gave us this, this big impulse, them coming back up like that, there's so much that they could do because, like I said, they came almost halfway from our orange line to our blue line. It actually might have been perfectly halfway if we draw it from right here. Yeah, it's pretty even, don't you guys think? So, there's so much that they could do, and it's, it still looks like they're doing a lot of stuff. This is not the type of impulse that we want to look for. Patrick asked if I ever watched news events. I don't remember the last time I was on forexfactory.com. To be completely honest, I really don't. The news events that I look for, I might look at NFP, but I mean, I know what time that is every month. And then another one is what is it? It's slipping my mind right now. Somebody help me out. Is it ECB or whatever it is? Shows how much I look at news. I keep it very, very simple for myself. And like I've preached this, since Forex Fortune Factory 1.0 is news events is just another tactic, honestly, for them to do exactly what they were already going to do. I haven't seen a news event go completely against me. That wasn't already anticipated, I guess you can say. They usually will whipsaw, maybe like they'll go the opposite way of what I want just for a hot second, and then they'll go back that way in the long run. So it's like it's whatever. I'm going to be so mad if this isn't actually recording. Oh my gosh, I'll be so mad. It says that it is, but since it's saying low disk space, it's got me worried. And I'm on my laptop, which really has low disk space because of all the training videos I've done for you all. So I couldn't do it how I normally do. So I'm using the webinar program's recording feature. Okay, so let me see. Okay. All right, so let's watch AUD. We might have a small little opportunity here. Let's see if they close with some impulse. And if they do, we'll be looking at some short opportunity here. What are you guys thinking though? You guys liking these so far? I know it's the first one, but you guys think that you'll like the style of this so far? Chat box just went crazy. You guys are awesome. And like I said, we'll be mixing it up. It's just very first week. I wanted to get you guys excited for the new year, the new study buddy program. We'll be mixing it up between long-term and short-term trades, so don't worry. But it's just first week, so. And like literally the you guys are seeing my first trades of the new year. So you know, I took those trades before dinner and I closed AUD USD while I was eating, but those were just to get me warmed up. So I haven't actually done any deep analysis on anything, and I took the whole month of December off. So I mean, haven't marked any levels, none of that yet. So someone says this is more helpful for me than the videos because I can learn from a mistake live and see how and why exactly what you see. Yeah, that's really the goal in mind. That's really, I think, in collaboration with the videos. Now that you guys can see me trade live and the decisions that I'll make, and why I won't make certain other ones, is I feel like that's invaluable for the strategy, because the strategy is so simple, guys. Like I hate these other mentors that make it so difficult on people, and it's like I know that everyone learns differently, and a lot of traders are a lot more analytical and all that than I am, but man, it's just like I feel like it just gives trading such a bad name because people tie it to like math and stuff, and it's like the furthest thing from that. It's just corrective structure, impulse on either candles or market structure. over and over and over again. So this isn't what we wanted. So we're going to be scratching that trade. I mean, I don't really plan to take a trade from here to here. So, I mean, it's kind of pointless. It's like 3 pips. So, yeah, we caught our good move on USD CAD. I never look at Euro for scalping really, but let's take a look. Let's see if we can find some more corrective structures. I don't want to cut you guys short. So this is somewhat of a corrective structure. It's not the best looking one in my book. But you know, we have some areas to think about at least. I highlighted these areas because these are the areas that the market's touched the most. You know, this is really the corrective structure, but I'm obviously going to highlight this peak here, just for future reference if we do break out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look, since it's getting pretty close to this structure again. And as you can see, they didn't want to break here. We're going to see just how they handle it. And, you know, they're pretty impulsive right now. Little to no wick. But let's see how they handle it. There's still 3 minutes left on this candle. So let's watch and observe. See if this is going to be actually a corrective structure for us. So they broke out. Let's see if they close with wick or if they close impulsive. If they close impulsive, I'll probably move on to another pair, to be honest. I really don't prefer Euro USD for scalping. I don't know why. I just don't prefer Euro at all, to be honest. It's not that I've never scalped it. It's just that I just don't prefer it. I really like AUD. Really love Jappy. You know, CAD, obviously. Pairs that I naturally gravitate to. I'm going to look at GBP USD actually. Okay, so looks like we've got a corrective structure. It's a big one. Pretty big. I'm gonna highlight this. That's important to me because, actually, let me pull it back a bit. This line is important to me because, hold on, let me get situated here. No, I don't want to make it red. Let's make it orange. Okay. It's important to me because, as you can see, they've hit this area with the parabolic crescent here. They threw a wick up here at one point, even though it wasn't like a an important move. It just shows that it's a premium price level where they've trapped traders to some extent there, and then they've also bounced off of it here as well. So I think it's a pretty important place to keep in mind. And as you can see, they bounced here. They broke a little bit above it, went right back into the structure. I don't like the wick to this bottom side because that could easily turn back into a bullish candle. Like this wick this candle right here that's dropping. I'm not hyped by this. This doesn't excite me because I've seen these candles do this kind of shit, and then they come right back the opposite way, and then the next thing you know, they're up here. So don't get hype over that type of stuff just because they bounced off the top of this channel. Okay, so they did close impulsive. How much room would this be? It's like kind of worth it. Let me see. Quick decision. Okay, perfect. Everyone get ready on GBP USD, just in case I call it out. Damn it, why's my platform tripping out? Yes, keep going. We're looking at a short. I want to see this 1 minute candle close. All right, let's take a short on GBP USD. Take a sell. My platform like tripped the hell out for a bit, but I got in at, let me see. We'll call my strike price 35.22.1. Mine like stalled. It's like crappy, but we'll be getting out at around 35.14, guys. That's why I was debating, because that's only like 8 pips or whatever. But since it pulled back a little bit, some of you guys may have caught around 10. All right, so we're looking good so far. I like that they gave us a wick to the top side, but we want to see that close, obviously. They close with that wick to the top side and then close impulsively at the bottom. Oh man, that's beautiful. Like, absolutely beautiful. But that's only if it closes impulsively at the bottom. Two minutes. Get back down there. What did Euro end up doing? Okay, so Euro did do what I said, that they broke above it, but they gave us a giant wick. So let's see how they close on that as well. Come on, get down there. We do not want this to close like that, guys. So let's watch it close. Let's watch it real close. We do not want that. Come on, baby. Give us a big push at the end. 10 seconds. Come on. Push. All right. Let's close this one, guys. I don't like this one. Close it. Even if it plays out, who cares? Close it. It was like a loss of a pip or something like that. It's like nothing. Don't hold on to that one. Let me see what Euro did. Okay, so that's pretty good. I don't like how long it is. Kind of screws up the trade, but it did close with little to no wick to the bottom side. Yeah. We're only going to be taking this if they give us like I don't like the length of these impulsive candles. So, yeah, and it's good that we got out on this one. We lost a pip. It's okay. But honestly, what do you guys think? You think we could call it a night? 30 minutes early? I feel like I'm starting to force trades now, so everyone satisfied for the first night? It's a little early. It's about 30 minutes left. But hopefully you guys learned a lot. Okay, everyone seems to be cool with it. You know, like I said, I'm going to shoot for 5 hours every single week. I really am. Because that's around the time that I look at charts on my own anyway. So, I mean, I think that, you know, it's pretty chill. So I'll shoot for 5 hours every single week. And, you know, sometimes though, I don't want to just trade for the sake of trading. Like we're just going to get screwed over that way. So this will be uploaded into the members area. It's going to be full length. I'm not going to edit it. Like I said, I hired someone today actually that's going to start handling all my photo and video so that I can focus more on the charts and you guys. And I'll be making sure that from now on, you know, she goes ahead and, you know, edits the video so that you guys don't have to hear long pauses and, you know, stuff like that. So, but all right, guys, everyone enjoy their night or their day. I know there's people all around the world. So love you guys. I will see you on tomorrow nights. Tomorrow night we are doing same time, but I think tomorrow's is only an hour. So make sure you guys check the schedule, and I'll see you guys then. So take care.